That's it. I was saying to you yesterday after the first quarter ended, we were both at the game yesterday. I go to Burns and go, that's the last first quarter of NFL football you'll have for 8 months. Halftime comes. I'm like, that's the last halftime you'll have for 8 months.
That's a weird way to frame it, but it's
third quarter. It's the last set. You'll have a third quarter for 8 more months.
I don't know about you.
The ending of the season.
This season flew by.
Yeah.
I thought the Cardinal season flew by. Like, I can't believe
you said it.
over.
The Diamondbacks were in the World Series.
Yeah.
It occupied 6 weeks of the Cardinals season that the baseball team was on a run to the World Series.
That's a big reason why. I mean,
it was baseball season.
Because our team, we try to give everybody their attention, but sometimes it gets a little divided. In the middle of the Cardinal season, right about the time Joshua Dobbs was kind of hitting a wall and Clayton Tune was gearing up for his one start, where we were all kind of in that, when does Kyler Murray come back kind of mode, the Diamondbacks went to the World Series. And by the time the Diamondbacks were done with the World Series, we were like a week away from Kyler making his debut. So it just felt like the football season flew by, and now it's playoff time, and now it's time.
And obviously the debut of the Big Three for the Phoenix Suns.
Yes, of course. Oh, boy, that's got some work to do. That is not our top story of the day. Here's what is our top story of the day here on the Burns and Gambo Show.
Burns and Gambo, the weigh-in. Brought to you by Revitalize Weight Loss.
Weighing in on the Arizona Cardinals season. It is done after yesterday's loss to the Seattle Seahawks. Gambo turned to me right as Matt Prater was lining up for a 51-yard
What do you want?
goal. Said, what do you want?
What do you want right now? What do you want?
How did I answer that question?
You said you want him to miss it.
And
he missed it.
51 yards. Gillikin to hold. Trying to win the game and end the season on a major positive. Snap, ball down. The kick is up. The kick from Prater, no good. He missed it wide to the right. The game is over, and Seattle wins it 21-20.
Now, listen, Matt Prater's not getting a cozy front office job for Michael Bidwell for missing the kick.
Of course not.
Okay, nobody's getting a bonus. He didn't want to miss the kick.
No.
Give him a lot of credit. I think Darren Urban pointed that out in his column. Give him a lot of credit for standing in his locker room and taking questions after the game. He's a consummate professional.
I was there in the locker room, and he waited out every single question. He could have turned hightail and gotten out of there when Gannon was meeting with the media. He didn't. All credit to him. He didn't do any of that stuff.
I don't know if it had anything to do with the shirt that he wore coming into the arena.
Oh, dear Lord.
You know? But I could have been that. Could have been it.
I had put that bitches in there shaking his head.
I thought about tagging Gambo. I really did, but I did not want to.
I have the same shirt. I started the
You've got
mania.
a shirt of Matt Prater's wife?
No, I've got my own wife. I've got a face.
You started nothing. Your wife started
My
it.
wife started it.
You didn't. You were
My
just
wife
there.
started this
you
fad.
You were just there when the wheel went round.
But I was the first that anybody ever knew of having a shirt like this.
All you did was do what you were told to do when your wife said, "Here, wear this." If you missed it, Matt Prater, when he was walking into the stadium yesterday, he was wearing like a flannel over shirt, but under that he had a shirt. Are you tweeting it out right now, Mitch? You put it out there. A shirt with his wife's face all over it. Very similar to the shirt got for your birthday with Chelsea's face all over it.
Same one. Yeah. Got the shirt. It says Chelsea, and it's got like 5 or 6 pictures of my wife's face on the shirt. I wore it to my gym, and everybody's like, "Oh my God, we all have to get that shirt and wear it one day." I'm not giving you a shirt with my wife's face all over it. But anyway, we both said the same thing. At that point, we had known that if he makes the kick, they're picking 5th. If he misses it, they're picking 4th. We had gone into the game with some hope that maybe Washington could win, but that was never going to happen.
They didn't.
There was some hope that New England could win at home, final game of the season, maybe for Bill Belichick, but that didn't happen. And then the Chargers were fighting tooth and nail to get themselves a victory. They ended up losing. So we knew that if the Cardinals make that kick, Prater kicks the field goal, they actually go down a spot from 4 to 5. I don't want to go down a spot from 4 to 5. I want to stay at 4. I want the best possible draft pick in each of the rounds. And that gives me the best shot at Marvin Harrison Jr., but I also get to pick ahead of the Chargers in every other round now, too. So I was all for him missing the kick. I know it's not ideal, but, that's what I wanted. At that point in my life, I wanted the Cardinals to get the best draft pick.
I was the same way. And in a moment, and we said, okay, we're gonna talk about this on the air tomorrow because we're having a real, genuine, call your shot kind of moment here. And I wanted to miss it too because, and I made this point last week during the Eagles game, and I'll make it again here. everything you wanted to achieve by playing hard, being competitive, and having a chance to win that game, you achieved it yesterday, even in a loss. We were both in the post-game interview room for Jonathan Gannon, and somebody, I think it was Greg Moore over at The Republic, asked him a question about, hey, would winning this game have changed your optimism about next season? He's like, no, of course not, right? Like everything, all this momentum, all this positivity, all this belief that the Cardinals have had a really nice season, didn't matter whether they won that game or lost that game. It wouldn't have made any difference if they were 5-12 versus 4-13. We'd still feel the same way about this team and what they've built and what they're starting to do this year. They didn't need a win to validate that. They didn't need a win to justify that. And by not winning, you would have gotten a win against a division rival. You went 0-6 in the NFC West. I'll admit that part kind of sucks a little bit. But you're at 4. You still might have a chance at Marvin Harrison Jr., who, oh, by the way, for whatever reason,
liked a tweet
with a video of that missed kick. Now, there could be a million reasons why he liked it. I don't know if it means he wants to go to the Cardinals or not, but I'd rather have that because at 5, it ain't happening at 5. You're not getting him at 5. At 4, you at least
Are you sure that you're not getting him at
shot.
5? Are you certain that you're not getting him at 5?
Bet my life on it? No, but you're gonna tell me that the guy that everyone thinks is the best player in the draft is going to be available at number 5? Like the 3 quarterbacks I'll buy. Are you telling me you think 4 quarterbacks could go 1, 2, 3, 4?
Keenan Allen is going to be 32 years old. He's a great wide receiver, but he is going to be 32. Guy had 108 receptions this year for 1,243 yards. He's a stud. Keenan Allen's a stud. But he is going to be 32. Been in this league for a long time. He's been in this league since 2013 with the San Diego Chargers. So I was thinking to myself, would the Chargers take a wide receiver if they've already got a great wide receiver? They have a great wide receiver. So they need help on the offensive line. They need to protect their quarterback. So I was wondering if the Chargers would take a wide receiver when they've already got a great wide receiver.
So if the Chargers had finished 4th and the Cardinals had finished 5th.
Is it possible they go offensive line to build the offensive line to protect the investment that they have in their quarterback?
It's possible. Would we all agree it's more likely you get them at 4 than at 5? And I want options. I want choices.
Yeah.
I want them to be able to have all the options in front of them. Yeah, it's possible. It's possible they could have gotten them at 5. In some ways, it almost felt like karma that they missed the kick yesterday. And by that, I mean
by playing it right.
They did it right.
They did everything right.
They did everything right all season long. They didn't withhold Kyler Murray. They played him when they were
never
ready.
Tanked.
They never tanked. They were
to win.
What was the phrase you kept using all season? They weren't tanking.
Building responsibly.
Building responsibly.
Okay, building responsibly.
Building responsibly.
They weren't going to waste money on older veteran players that weren't going to be a part of their future. They were going to build with younger, but they were also going to try to win football games.
They competed in damn near every game they played in. They played hard. They balled out for their new coach. It felt like, in a weird karmic kind of way, that Matt Prater missing those 2 kicks was almost like their reward. Hey, you did it the right way. Okay, go miss the kicks to get 4th instead of 5th. I know it doesn't work like that, but in the moment it kind of felt like that, didn't it?
Prater missed 2 kicks.
Yeah.
How many did he miss all year before that? 3?
He didn't miss 1 kick from 40 to 49 yards all year.
But what did he miss total?
I have no idea. I just know the 43-yarder he missed that would have given him a 10-point.
He had never missed that.
He had missed from that distance all year. That was the first time he had missed from that distance.
Ball game if he makes that. Go up by 2 scores.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then Seattle scores. They go for 2. They get it.
It's almost ball game if he makes.
You know what the funniest part I got to say is?
Yeah, sure.
There's some guy in the press box. We're sitting there yesterday. I would have kicked his ass out. We're sitting there, right? And Seattle scores. And I don't know if the kicker was – some guy was, there's a kicker on the field! You're in the press box. You're not allowed to do that.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to cheer or root or in the press box.
So
there are, rules.
Yeah, so let me be a little more specific with the story. So initially, they score the touchdown. Metcalf scored – it was Lockett. I'm sorry.
Lockett scores the touchdown to Lockett.
Lockett scores the touchdown. And initially, Pete Carroll sent his kicker out there. Now, I think it was somebody who works for the Seahawks, not somebody who covers the Seahawks, and they just happen to have a seat in the press box. I don't know why, but to your point, this person screaming in the press box, get the kicker off the field. You can't kick the ball here. You got to go for it, Pete. He starts, like everyone in the press box.
That's never happened.
No.
I've been doing this for 30, 40 years. It's never happened. It doesn't happen.
I've never seen it either. And we all turn and look. Like,
I got up like, who's the dude?
Screaming? Who's yelling? And it was almost
screaming at.
Like Pete Carroll heard the person because sure enough, the kicker, Myers, kind of does a 180. He goes, okay, never mind.
Then they go for 2.
We're going to go for 2. Mm-hmm. It was the
weird.
weirdest thing. It was really, really weird. And I still want to know who it was who was screaming in the press box like that. I really do want to know.
Surprised Chris Melvin didn't kick his out.
I think Chris
Get out of my press box. That's Chris Melvin's press box.
Yeah, I think he was down on the field.
That's why, because that's his press box.
Yeah, I think so.
Thanks for watching Burns and Gambo. Click to see more from the guys and hit the button in the middle to subscribe so you never miss a video from Arizona sports.